Stroke. A word no one likes to hear, but it's one of the most dangerous conditions we face, especially as we grow older. Ever caught yourself thinking, why am I feeling so off lately? I'm doing everything right, but my body feels weak, like I've lost control? Or maybe you've noticed that you're having trouble moving or feeling dizzy for no reason. These could be your body's way of sending you a warning, and that warning could be a stroke. We all know that strokes can strike without warning, but what most don't realize is that 2 weeks before a stroke, your body will send out subtle signs. That's right, the body can drop little hints, and if you catch them early, you can take action to protect yourself. And who knows, you might even save a life. So today, on Elderly Wisdom Secrets, we're diving into the 9 warning signs of a stroke 2 weeks before it happens. And even better, I'll share with you 10 effective tips on how to prevent a stroke so you can keep living your best, healthy, vibrant life for years to come. So, are you ready to learn something life-changing? Let's get started. Before we dive in, let's make one thing clear. A stroke is not just a random event that happens out of nowhere. In fact, strokes often come with warning signs, and if we pay attention, our body will give us little clues. This is why early detection is so important. Signs like severe headaches, numbness on one side of your body, or difficulty speaking could be signs that a stroke is on the horizon. But here's the kicker. Many people ignore these signals, not realizing they've been given a golden opportunity to act fast. And that's why I'm here today, to share those warning signs with you. Also, if you or someone you love has a history of high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart problems, you're at a higher risk for stroke. If any of these apply, being on the lookout for these early signs is a must. If you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and spread the word with your loved ones. And if you want to keep up with more insightful videos from Elderly Wisdom Secrets, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss out on more helpful tips and tricks to keep you and your loved ones healthy. A stroke doesn't always hit like a bolt of lightning. In fact, your body often gives you warning signs before the actual stroke happens. If you catch them early, you can prevent serious harm. So here are the first 3 warning signs you should keep an eye on in the 2 weeks leading up to a stroke. Sign 1. Severe, unusual headaches. Headaches are pretty common, right? But if the headache you're feeling is intense, persistent, and feels completely different from any usual headache you've had before, that's a red flag. Take Jane, for example, a 68-year-old woman in California. She's always had mild headaches when the weather changed. But about 10 days ago, she started feeling a headache that wouldn't go away. It was much stronger than her usual ones, and the pain was localized on the right side of her head. She went to see a doctor, who warned her that the headache could be a sign of impaired blood flow to the brain. Fortunately, she didn't ignore it and took action just in time. Research shows that severe, unrelenting headaches could signal a stroke, especially when the pain doesn't subside with typical over-the-counter pain relievers. Studies suggest that stroke patients often experience long-lasting headaches due to a blockage that reduces blood flow to the brain. Sign 2. Numbness or weakness on one side of the body. Another common and concerning sign is numbness or weakness in one part of the body, usually on one side of the face, arm, or leg. This occurs when blood flow to the brain is disrupted. William, a 72-year-old man from New York, was very active and walked daily. However, one morning, he noticed that his right arm felt unusually weak. He thought it was just fatigue, but after a few days, the weakness persisted. When he finally went to the hospital, he was diagnosed with ischemic stroke caused by a blockage in a blood vessel supplying the brain. Fortunately, Early detection meant he avoided a major stroke. Studies show that when one side of your body becomes weak or numb, it could be a sign of brain ischemia, lack of oxygen in the brain, and you should get medical attention immediately. Sign 3. Difficulty speaking or slurred speech. Here's another big sign: difficulty speaking or slurred speech, even if it's just one word that sounds unclear. This is a major red flag because a stroke can affect the muscles that control speech. Take Evelyn, 75, from Florida. She's always been known for her sharp speech, but one morning she noticed her mouth felt numb and she couldn't speak clearly. When she tried calling her daughter, her words didn't come out right. After visiting the doctor, she was diagnosed with a minor stroke, and thanks to early detection, she made a quick recovery. Medical studies confirm that slurred or unclear speech is a classic stroke symptom. It occurs when the part of the brain responsible for speech and language is affected by reduced blood flow. This symptom shouldn't be ignored, and immediate medical attention is essential. Sign 4. Sudden vision problems. If you suddenly experience vision issues, such as blurred vision or losing vision in one eye, it could be a warning sign of an impending stroke. These vision changes are not related to eye problems, but rather to blood flow disruptions in the brain, affecting the optic nerves. Charles, a 70-year-old from Texas, had perfect vision until one morning when he woke up with blurred vision. He thought it was just fatigue, but the issue didn't go away. It got worse when he drove his car. He went to the hospital, and the doctor diagnosed him with signs of an impending stroke. In fact, insufficient blood supply to the brain can affect the areas controlling vision, leading to temporary vision loss. Studies show that sudden vision loss, especially in one eye, could be a sign of a stroke. If this happens repeatedly or lasts for more than a few minutes, it's important to seek medical help right away. Sign 5. Unexplained nausea or vomiting. Nausea or vomiting is a symptom we all know too well, but when it comes on without clear cause, it's time to be cautious. Often, nausea is not just a stomach issue. It could signal an impending stroke. When blood flow to the brain is restricted, symptoms like nausea can occur because of the disruption in balance control mechanisms. Linda, a 69-year-old woman from Florida, started experiencing nausea every morning. This feeling lasted for several days, preventing her from eating normally. She initially thought it was due to eating habits, but when the symptoms persisted for a week, she went to the hospital and was diagnosed with signs of a minor stroke. Medical studies indicate that unexplained nausea or vomiting can be a symptom of a stroke, especially when accompanied by dizziness or balance issues. Sign 6. Sudden dizziness or loss of balance. One of the clearest and most alarming signs of a stroke is sudden dizziness or loss of balance. This isn't just about standing up too fast or feeling a bit tired. It's about a disruption in blood flow to the brain, leading to difficulty maintaining balance. Bob, a 75-year-old man from Chicago, was always active and loved playing golf. But one day he suddenly felt dizzy and unsteady while standing up from his chair. This sensation lasted and kept him from enjoying his favorite activities. After going to the doctor, he was diagnosed with signs of an impending stroke. Experts agree that if you experience loss of balance without a clear cause, especially when standing or walking, it's a strong warning sign of an impending stroke. Research shows that about 30% of those who experience dizziness or loss of balance before a stroke report having these feelings beforehand. Sign 7. Unexplained memory loss or difficulty concentrating. Another warning sign of an impending stroke is difficulty concentrating or memory loss for no apparent reason. If you find yourself forgetting recent events or struggling to focus on tasks that are usually easy for you, this could be an early sign of a stroke. When blood flow to certain areas of the brain is interrupted, it affects the brain's ability to process information and retain memories. Richard, a 74-year-old man from Virginia, had always been sharp with a great memory. However, in the last couple of weeks, he started forgetting small things, like where he put his keys or missing an important phone call. At first, he thought it was just stress, but when the issue persisted, he saw his doctor. After some tests, he was diagnosed with a stroke risk and was fortunate to receive timely treatment. Studies show that memory loss or difficulty concentrating can be an early indicator of impaired blood flow to the brain, which affects cognitive functions. This is especially important for seniors, as the brain needs oxygen and nutrients to maintain its processing abilities. Sign 8. Numbness or difficulty moving one side of the body. One of the clearest and most noticeable signs of a stroke is numbness or difficulty moving a part of the body, especially on one side of the face, arm, or leg. This happens when blood flow to the brain is obstructed, affecting the brain's ability to control muscles and movement. Maria, 68, from California, began feeling her left arm go numb one morning. At first, she thought it was just a bad sleeping position, but the numbness didn't go away. After a few days, she found it difficult to move her left arm normally and decided to visit her doctor. She was diagnosed with signs of an impending stroke and was fortunate enough to get timely treatment. Medical studies confirm that numbness or difficulty moving one side of the body is a strong indicator of disrupted blood flow to the brain. This is a symptom that should not be ignored and requires immediate medical attention. Sign 9. Unusual fatigue. If you suddenly feel fatigued or drained without any obvious reason, this could also be a warning sign of a stroke. Unexplained fatigue may occur because the brain is not receiving enough oxygen and nutrients, leading to overall weakness and a lack of energy. John, a 78-year-old man from Michigan, was always active and enjoyed sports. However, in recent weeks, he began feeling unusually tired and exhausted, even without doing anything strenuous. This fatigue made it difficult for him to complete everyday tasks. After visiting the doctor, he was diagnosed with signs of a stroke and needed immediate treatment to prevent severe complications. Research shows that unusual fatigue is a common symptom when the body lacks energy due to insufficient blood supply to the brain. Studies indicate that those who suffer strokes often experience extreme fatigue and difficulty with everyday activities, which is an important sign not to ignore. So we've covered the 9 warning signs of a stroke before it actually happens. As you can see, each sign carries an important message from your body, and when you recognize them, you can take proactive steps to protect your health. Next, we'll dive into 10 effective tips for preventing a stroke, helping you live healthier and reduce the risk of a stroke. Let's keep going. Tip 1. Control your blood pressure, the silent killer of your arteries. High blood pressure is no joke. It's called the silent killer for a reason. According to the American Heart Association, it's the #1 risk factor for both ischemic and hemorrhagic strokes. High pressure damages blood vessels, increasing the risk of clots or ruptures. Take Rose, 72, from Arizona. She used to think high blood pressure was just part of getting older. But one day, she felt dizzy while cooking, and her daughter rushed her to the doctor. Her BP was 171/100ths. Yikes. The doctor told her to cut back on salt, go for daily walks, and take her meds regularly. 3 months later, she was back on track and feeling better than ever. Pro tip: check your blood pressure at least once a month, especially if you're over 60. Cut back on salt, manage stress, sleep well, and follow your doctor's advice if medication is prescribed. Tip 2. Eat smart. A long-term investment in brain and blood vessel health. A balanced diet, low in saturated fats and rich in leafy greens, fresh fruits, and whole grains, is your natural shield against stroke. A Harvard study found that people who eat more fruits and vegetables have a 21% lower risk of stroke than those who don't. Frank, 75, from Oregon, was a French fries and hot dog kind of guy. But after a cholesterol test that scared his doctor speechless, he switched to a Mediterranean-style diet. Think salmon, avocado, leafy greens, and whole grains. 6 months later, he'd lost nearly 18 pounds, stabilized his blood pressure, and his doctor actually smiled at his blood work. Pro tip: go for anti-inflammatory foods like broccoli, salmon, flax seeds, berries, and avocado. Cut back on processed foods, fried snacks, and sugary sodas. Tip 3. Exercise regularly. Nature's medicine for your heart and brain. Exercise doesn't just tone your muscles. It can reduce your stroke risk by up to 27%, according to the Journal of the American Heart Association. Movement improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and balances cholesterol. Sheila, 70, from Colorado, used to think exercise was a young person's thing. But after a fall caused by poor balance, her doctor told her to start walking 20 minutes a day. At first, every step was tough, but over time she fell in love with her morning walks at the park. Not only did she feel stronger, but she also slept better and felt happier. Pro tip: just 20 to 30 minutes of light activity a day, like walking, gentle yoga, swimming, or biking, can significantly cut your stroke risk. Pick something you enjoy and make it a habit. Just 3 simple but powerful habits can lay the groundwork for stroke prevention. But we're not done yet. In the next section, we'll explore even more simple daily habits that can make a huge difference in your long-term health. Stick with us. There's more good stuff coming. Tip 4. Manage your weight. Lighter body, lighter stroke risk. Carrying extra weight doesn't just slow you down. It puts extra pressure on your heart, brain, and blood vessels. According to the CDC, obesity increases stroke risk by up to 64%, as it often goes hand in hand with high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol. David, 67, from Ohio, used to joke about his beer belly as part of aging. But after a checkup showed a dangerously high BMI, his doctor gave him a serious talk. With help from a nutritionist, David cut back on processed carbs, added more greens to his plate, and started morning walks. 6 months later, he'd lost 26 pounds and gained better health. Pro tip: aim for a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9. No need for crash diets. Losing just 1 to 2 pounds per week through balanced eating and regular activity can dramatically lower your stroke risk. Tip 5. Quit smoking. Every puff is a punch to your arteries. Smoking narrows your blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and cuts off oxygen to the brain, aka a recipe for stroke. According to the World Health Organization, smokers are 2 to 4 times more likely to have a stroke than non-smokers. Tom, 73, from Georgia, had been smoking for nearly 40 years. But after a close friend suffered a stroke due to heavy smoking, Tom had a wake-up call. He joined a quit smoking support group and used nicotine patches for 3 months. Not only did his lungs feel lighter, so did his doctor's mood when reading his health reports. Pro tip: if you smoke, take small steps. Reduce cigarettes per day, talk to your doctor, and seek support. Remember, it's never too late to quit. Your body starts healing the moment you stop. Tip 6. Control your cholesterol. Don't let your arteries clog with time. High cholesterol clogs arteries, making it harder for blood to flow and increasing the risk of clots that cause strokes. According to the Mayo Clinic, keeping bad cholesterol (LDL) low and good cholesterol (HDL) high helps protect your blood vessels and lowers stroke risk. Susan, 65, from Illinois, had no idea her cholesterol was high until a routine check. She revamped her diet: less red meat, more fish, leafy greens, and nuts, and started afternoon walks. 4 months later, her LDL had dropped by over 30 points. Pro tip: get your cholesterol checked every 6 to 12 months. Eat artery-friendly foods like oats, soy, walnuts, and fatty fish, and cut back on fried foods and fatty meats. These habits may seem simple, but they pack a powerful punch when it comes to protecting your brain and blood vessels. We're more than halfway there. Don't stop now. In the next section, you'll discover the final 4 tips, including a few underrated but incredibly important ways to lower your stroke risk. Let's keep going. Tip 7. Control blood sugar. Don't let sweet turn into danger. Diabetes doesn't just damage eyes and kidneys, it doubles to quadruples your stroke risk. When blood sugar isn't controlled, small blood vessels are damaged, leading to inflammation and clot formation. Carl, 66, from Pennsylvania, learned he had prediabetes during a checkup. Instead of panicking, he made changes: cut sugar, swapped white rice for brown, ate more veggies, and started morning yoga. 6 months later, his blood sugar was back to normal, without meds. Pro tip: monitor blood sugar regularly if you're over 60 or at risk for diabetes. Avoid refined carbs and sugary drinks. Choose whole grains, boost fiber intake, and move your body every day. Tip 8. Manage stress. Stay calm to keep blood flowing freely. Chronic stress is a sneaky saboteur of heart health. When you're constantly anxious, angry, or sleep-deprived, your body releases hormones that constrict vessels and raise blood pressure, a perfect storm for stroke. Lisa, 70, from Washington, was always caring for others but never took time for herself. After frequent headaches and sleepless nights, her doctor suggested meditation and daily relaxation. She began listening to soft music, breathing deeply, and reading at bedtime. The result? Better sleep, lower BP, and a new lease on life. Pro tip: carve out 15 to 20 minutes a day just for you. Meditate, journal, garden, listen to music, or simply breathe deeply. A calm mind supports a healthy heart. Tip 9. Get regular checkups. Don't wait until it's too late. Many people only see a doctor when something feels off. But with stroke, early detection of risk factors, like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or atrial fibrillation, is the best defense. One routine checkup could change everything. Jimmy, 71, from Minnesota, went for a checkup at his wife's insistence. He felt perfectly fine. The doctor found atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm issue that raises stroke risk 5-fold. Because they caught it early, he started treatment and has stayed stroke-free. Pro tip: get a full health check once or twice a year. Don't wait for symptoms. Prevention is always cheaper than treatment. Tip 10. Get enough sleep. Healthy sleep, healthy vessels. Sleeping less than 6 hours a night significantly increases stroke risk, according to Harvard research. During sleep, your body regulates blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and heals your vessels. Skip sleep and you're skipping nature's best medicine. Nancy, 69, from Nevada, used to stay up late watching TV and had irregular sleep patterns. After experiencing fatigue and high blood pressure, her doctor suggested a consistent bedtime routine. Since going to bed before 10 p.m. and avoiding screens at night, she wakes up refreshed and her health metrics have improved. Pro tip: aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep nightly. Stick to a regular bedtime and cut screen time before bed to let your body unwind and recover properly. So, we've just gone through 10 simple yet powerful tips to help prevent strokes, one of the most dangerous yet controllable health threats out there. But our journey doesn't end here. Let's head into the final section for a heartfelt wrap-up and a little inspiration to keep living strong one day at a time. Dear friend, we've just walked through 9 warning signs of stroke and 10 practical, effective prevention tips. And you know what? None of it was rocket science. It's all about small, doable changes. Eating better, moving more, sleeping deeper, and keeping your heart calm. But don't underestimate those small shifts, because they can lead to huge results. One timely blood pressure check can save your life. A 20-minute daily walk can keep your legs strong for years. A balanced plate today can help prevent tomorrow's crisis. Life after 60 can be full of joy if we know how to listen to our bodies, respect the little signs, and act before it's too late. And here at Elderly Wisdom Secrets, we're right here with you on that journey. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button and share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you'll never miss a tip, a story, or a gentle nudge to help you stay strong and independent. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned with Elderly Wisdom Secrets, because your best days are still ahead.